Hello children, welcome to today's series class. Children, in the previous session we have learned the lesson, the story of drop of water. In this lesson we have learned some textbook activity, some conversation. Okay, and water is very essential for human being. Not only human being, plants and animals also need water. Without water we can't live on the earth. So, we have learned some concept in this lesson. Water, some sources of water. Tell me student, what is the sources of water? Yes, some sources of water. Main sources of water, what children? Yes, rain is the main sources of water. Some other sources of water, which one children? Yes, well, lake, pond, river and sea. These are the sources of water. So, you already learned in the previous classes. And water is very essential. This is one of the human basic needs. Which are those basic needs, children? Yes, food, shelter, water, air. These are the human basic needs. So, this is also one of the basic needs. Water is very essential. This is one of the precious gift for the God. We can save water. Don't waste water. You can use water after you turn off the tap. Okay. These are you already learned in the previous session. Today in this class we will discuss about some main concepts. These are the some main concepts. First one, forms of water. Forms of water. And then sources of water. Sources of water, purpose of water, and then water cycle, water supply of our houses, and storing water. These are the main concept in this lesson. So, water is colorless. Water is clean. Water is colorless, odorless, tasteless. This is transparent, very transparent. This is the main thing about the water. Water is colorless, tasteless, odorless and transparent. This is the clean water creation. This is one of the clean water creation. Odorless means vasane illadu. Okay, this is the main thing. First one, this concept you have to learn in this class, children. Forms of water. Water is giving from three forms. One is ice, water vapor, another one form only water. We can get water from three forms. Which are those? Ice, water vapor and water. These are the three forms of water. So, first you can discuss about the forms of water. We can, on heating, water changes into water vapor. What do you mean by water vapor? On heating, water changes into water vapor. You can heat the water, changes into water vapor. This is the water vapor. We can cooling water, changes into ice. Ice andre eno? We can cooling water. Freeze. You can kept in a one glass water, put a freeze, change into ice. This is the ice. This is the forms of water. We can heating water, changes into water vapor. Main, this is the water is don't change. Water is a constant. This is the water. This is three forms of water. On the earth, 3/4 of earth. 3/4 of earth covered with water surface. 3/4 of earth covered with water surface. 3/4 of earth. 75. It means 75% of earth covered with water. Okay? Yes. Water, some three forms. Which are those, children? Yes. Ice, water vapor and then water. We can cooling water change into ice. We can heating water change into Three forms of water. This is the three forms of water. Next, sources of water. You already learned in previous classes, children. Some sources. One is the main sources of water. Which one? Yes, rain is the main sources of water. Rain is main sources of water. Another which one, children? Yes, very good. Lake, pond, lake, pond, river, and then sea, well, and then borewells, yes, very good, taps. These are the sources of water. Sources of water. Which are those, children? Water, given from some resources, sources. These are the sources of water. Main sources of water. Which one, children? Rain is the main sources of water. Another sources of water: lake, pond, river, sea, well, borewells, taps. These are the sources of water. Again, bifurcate into two types sources of water. One is natural sources of water. Natural sources of water. Natural sources. Another one is man-made sources. Man-made sources. Yes. What is the natural sources? God made the man. This is the God gift. Yes, natural sources mean this is naturally created. Like God gift. This is the natural sources. Which are those, children? Yes, river, sea, lake, pond. These are the natural sources of water. Man-made, made by man. Which are those man-made sources of water? Yes, tap, borewells, hand pumps, and taps. Already written here. Yes, tap, borewells, hand pump. These are the man-made sources of water. You can understand, children? So these are the sources of water. Which one main sources of water? Yes, very important. Rain is the main sources of water. Again, bifurcate into two parts of the sources of water. One is natural sources of water. Another one is man-made sources of water. Which are those natural sources of water, children? Yes, river, sea, lake, pond. These are the natural sources of water. Another man-made sources of water: tap, borewell, hand pump. These are the man-made sources of water. You can understand, children, these 2 points. Yes, first one, forms of water. Another, sources of water. Next, third point, purpose of water. This is the main thing. Purpose of water. We can use water so many purposes. So, tell me, student, which are those you can use water for in your houses, in your surroundings? Which are those? Yes, in our houses, using water for cooking. Very good, cooking. In our houses, using water for cooking, washing clothes, cooking, washing clothes, cooking, washing clothes, and then watering the plant, watering washing vessels, utensils, washing vessels, washing vessels, washing vessels, and agricultural field. Yes, agricultural field, and yes, produce electricity. Very good. Produce electricity. Produce electricity. And then some industrial purposes, using water for some industrial. So these are the purpose of water, using the water for so many purposes. See your children, in our houses using cooking, washing clothes, watering the plant, and washing vessels. And agricultural field, produce electricity, and industrial area also using water. The another so many kinds of using water, so many purposes. Okay, these are the main thing. Okay, you can use water so many purposes. You can understand this. Next, water cycle. Water cycle. How can we get water? Yes, here some sea, some rivers. You can get the sunrise putting into the water vapor and then getting water. This is the rain. This is the cycle of water cycle. Male hege barutte? Water cycle hege agutte? Yes, water vapor goes up into the air. Water vapor goes up into the air and cools from tiny layer. Allenagutte tiny layer agutte. Next gets clouds and next get rain. This is the water cycle. Next, water supply our houses. How to supply our houses water in cities or villages? How to supply, children? In cities, we get water from the public water taps. In cities, we get water from public taps system, water system, through the pipes. The water are drawn from rivers, lakes, purified in water for houses. The purified water, this is collected in huge tank. Okay, and then connect the pipe system and getting tank. Some these tanks water is supplied to our houses with the help of pipes. In India, many villages depending on the wells and pond and lakes. So many villages depending on the wells, pond and lakes don't have public taps, don't have a tap. So the people depending on the wells and hand pump and bore wells, depending on these resources. Okay, so many cities so many villages don't have public tap. You can depend on the bore wells, lakes, pond. Okay, this is the water supply our houses. In cities, supplying water public taps and storage the huge tank and purified and getting the water coming to the tap. This is the supply in our houses. Storing water. You can store water in the clean vessels. For example, aluminium vessels, mud vessels, or aluminium, steel vessels. You can storage water from in our houses for the mud vessels, steel vessels, and copper vessels. We can put a clean vessels and covered vessels. You can storage water, covered vessels, and clean vessels. We should drink clean water. Okay, this is the storage water in our houses. You can understand this? Yes, this is the main concept. Water storage in our houses. For at home, the water from the taps collect in a bucket, jugs, bottles. The water must be collected in a clean vessel. and should be covered. If we still find that water is not clean, we can boil it. Water is cannot be clean, we can boil it. Some houses store water from mud pots, aluminium pots and then steel pots. This is the storage water in our houses. Which are those in the mud pots, aluminium pots, aluminium pots, steel pots and buckets, plastic buckets, jugs. These are the collected water from in our houses. Aluminium. Yes. You can understand children. These main things you have to learn. These are the main thing in this lesson. First one, forms of water, and then sources of water, purpose of water, water cycle, water supply of our houses, storing water. First one, forms of water. There are three types of forms of water. One is ice, water vapor, water. We can cool water, change into ice. We can heating water, change into water vapor. This is the still water. Water is clean water, creature water. This is water is colorless, odorless, tasteless. This is transparent. This is the water is very transparent. Next, sources of water. What is the main sources of water? Rain is the main sources of water. So many sources of water in this year like pond, lake, river. Sea water is very salty, so we cannot use drinking. So this is using only industrial purpose. Sea, well, borewell, taps. These are the main sources of water. Again, bifurcate into two types sources of water. One is natural sources of water. Another one is man-made sources of water. Natural sources of water, which one children? River, sea, lake, pond. These are the natural sources of water. Man-made sources of water, which one? Tap, borewell, hand pump. These are the man-made sources of water. And then water cycle, water vapor, sunrises in the living in the water. Another water is water vapor and covered with this tiny layer, and then the rain. This is the cycle, water cycle. ಮಳೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ? ಸೂರ್ಯನ ಕಿರಣ ನೀರಿನ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಿದ್ದಾಗ ಅದು ಆವಿಯಾಗಿ ಒಂದು ಟೈನಿ ಲೇಯರ್ ಅನ್ನ, ತೆಳುವಾದ ಒಂದು ಲೇಯರ್ ಅನ್ನ ಉಂಟು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಮೋಡವಾಗಿ ಕ್ಲೌಡ್ ಆಗಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಳೆಯಾಗಿ ನಮಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಸೈಕಲ್, ವಾಟರ್ ಸೈಕಲ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, ವಾಟರ್ ಸಪ್ಲೈ ಆಫ್ ಅವರ್ ಹೌಸಸ್. ವಾಟರ್ ಅನ್ನ ಹೇಗೆ ಸಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ? ಎಸ್, ಟ್ಯಾಪ್. Storage the water, huge tanks, and then connecting to the pipe, you can get the tap water. So many villages cannot have a tap water. You can depend on well, pond and lake. So many villages, and then storing water in our houses. Yes, you can observe your locality or in your houses. We can collect the water from buckets, jugs, glasses, and then some mud pots, some aluminium pots, and some steel pots. This is the storing water in our houses. We should not waste water. We should save water, children. Okay, this is the main concept in this lesson. You can understand, children? Okay. In next class, I will continue another new lesson. Thank you, children.